Hindi illegal na i-release mo yung confidential funds mo for the quarter within 11 days. Because you are given actually 3 months to disburse. That's the maximum. Pero walang minimum. Hindi tinatadhana ng batas na dapat hindi mo to ma-spend in less than 10 days or less than 15 days. At sa wakas ay natapos na rin yung testimonya ni Roderick Wamil. Ano ang napatunayan muli ng prosecution? Ito po si Attorney Mike Operario. Pag-usapan natin yan. Kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko kahapon, mas mukhang inaabangan ng mga tao yung cross-examination kesa dun sa direct examination. At dito nga sa cross-examination, lumabas ang mas maraming katotohanan. Kasi yung direct examination ng abogado ng prosecution sa pamamagitan ni Attorney Kapunan, apparently dahil wala silang hawak na malinaw na ebidensya na mag-direksyong magli-link sa katiwalian at doon sa sinasabing audit observation memorandum from the COA, ay they resorted to being comical. Si Attorney Kapunan tried to do a comedy routine, which I don't think worked. They resorted to playing with the names, trying to imply something na nawala doon sa mga pangalan. That is another form of mudslinging na ginagamit dito sa impeachment na ito. But the truth came out during the cross-examination. What are yung mga katotohanan na yan na sinasabi natin? Una, mali ang sinasabi ni Roderick Wamil na si Vice President lang ang kaisa-isang Vice President na nagkaroon ng confidential funds. Apparently, hindi niya alam o di kaya ay tinakpan niya talaga yung katotohanan na even before that, in 2014, sa panahon niya ni Jejomar Binay bilang Vice President, naglabas ang DBM noon ng pondo para sa confidential funds ng Office of the Vice President. 2014 nasa COA na itong si Attorney Roderick Wamil, pero sa kanyang pagsasalaysay at pinakinggan mo yung unang direct testimony niya, parang totoong-totoo na kay BP Sara nga lang nangyari ito. Ikalawa, naging malinaw na doon sa mga batas na kanyang sinasabi ay hindi naman pinagbabawal or hindi illegal na i-release mo yung confidential funds mo for the quarter within 11 days. Because you are given actually 3 months to disburse. That's the maximum. Pero walang minimum. Hindi tinatadhana ng batas na dapat hindi mo to ma-spend in less than 10 days or less than 15 days. Wala pong ganung requirement. Pero, yun ang inaangguluhan nila. Kasi ayaw nga nila ipakita dito na kailangan mo talagang spend yan within 11 days because late mo na siyang inirelease sa Office of the Vice President. And, yung iba pang mga kamalian ng kanyang pahayag ay lalong-lalo na dun sa audit observation, yung AOM, audit observation memo, galing sa COA. Kasi nagtetestimonya siya nung una, nakala mo siya ay yung nagprepara nung report. It turns out, when the report came out, wala na siya doon sa departamento na yun ng COA. At hindi naman siya talaga yung gumawa o nagawa ng final report o nagpirma ng final report. Ang sinasabi niya na lang, meron pala daw siyang mga partisipasyon doon, yung initial draft siyang gumawa, wala nga lang siyang dalang kopya. Na meron siyang mga notes, hindi niya nga lang dala. So he was prevented by the presiding officer from referring to the AOM kasi wala naman pala siyang partisipasyon doon. That is not his. Kaya biglang kumambyo ang prosecution at sinasabi, preliminaries lang naman daw pala siya. After 3 witnesses, nasa preliminaries pa rin sila hanggang sa kasalukuyan at maglalabas pa sila ng ibang witnesses para naman discussin yung mga detalye ng AOM. But, again, sinabi ko na ito noon, uulitin ko ngayon. This proceeding is just a show. Kagaya ng gustong gawin ng prosecution, ginagawa itong isang palabas. They tried to do it like Eat Bulaga style, gawing comedy. But they are bad comedians. Wala silang sense of timing and their jokes really suck. Terrible ang mga pagpapatawa nila. I mean, Tito Soto will be proud of them. Siya yung hindi pinaka nakakatawa sa Tito Vic and Joey. But nobody else is laughing. And that's the worst part of being a comedian. When you're the only one smiling or even laughing at your jokes. At dito, walang natawa sa kanyang mga patawa. And that turns it into a sad story rather than a comedy. So, itong ginangyayari ito sa Senado, again, it's not about the impeachment. It's not about legality. It's not about evidence. This is about propaganda. Propaganda po ito. Nagtatry sila magpaganda. Gusto nila pagandahin yung storya nila that BP Sara is corrupt, that tama lang na siya ay ma-impeach. The problem is, it appears that their evidence doesn't coincide with the narrative that they wanted to sell. At dahil wala namang ebidensya, yung mga tao, nangangalay na dito sa storya na ito. You know, from the very start, alam na natin ang ending nito. Sinasabi ko nga sa inyo, alam na natin yung dulo ng boto nito. The majority will vote for removal of BP Sara. The minority will move against it. And therefore, there will be no impeachment. The VP Sara will not be removed from office because they don't have the required number of votes. Alam na natin yan from the start. So all of this story that's going on, kagaya na sinasabi ko noon, is just a part of the sarsuela. Naglulukuhan na lang talaga tayo dito. And para tayong, alam nyo, yung inilabas nila bilang isang teleserye. Ang isang pelikula na napanood na natin sa YouTube at Netflix. So from the very start, alam na natin yung umpisa, alam natin kung paano ito magtatapos kasi nga napanood na natin. And yet, the prosecution is trying to sell us, binebenta nila sa atin tong storya na to. Alam naman na natin kung ano ang kakahinatnan nito sa dulo. It's because, kaya tayo naiinis dito, mga mamamayan, after 12 days, about 300 million pesos in, wala pa rin nangyayari dito sa hearing nito. Kaya sinasabi ko nga noon pa, hanggang ngayon inuulit ko, para sa administrasyon at sa BBM 13 na nandyan sa Senado, wala po kaming pakialam kung gusto nyo magpropaganda laban kay Sara Duterte. Karapatan nyo yan, mga politiko kayo. Trabaho nyo yan na mangintriga, gumawa ng mga storya at kasinungalingan para pataubin ang inyong mga kalaban. That's part of your game. That's part of your territory. We get that. Naintindihan namin yan. Pero, ang hindi namin maintindihan, bakit kailangan yung gastusin yung pera ng taong bayan para sa isang istorya at kwentong walang kapararakan para sa amin. Walang benepisyo sa taong bayan. 300 million pesos in and you still have nothing. And that is why talagang hindi bebenta itong storya nyo nito because ang lahat na nanonood ngayon ng mga mamamayan alam na kung ano yung ginagawa ninyo. Wala po kayong nalilinlang. Kahit po yung mga trolls ninyo, kahit yung mga BBM vloggers na yan, yung mga supporters ng administrasyon, kahit yung mga dilaw, kahit na yung pink, kahit yung mga nagsasabing sila ay matatalino at elitista at mas matatalino sila sa mga sumusuporta sa mga Duterte. Alam nyo naman kung anong ending nito. Hindi nyo lang talaga ma-call out ang administrasyon, si BBM, ang Malacanang at ang kanyang mga taga-suporta, mga senador, kasi natatakot kayo. Tatakot kayo sa posibilidad na si Sara Duterte ang susunod na Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas. And that's the bottom line. Pero kaming lahat, hindi nyo kami mauuto dito. Hindi nyo kami maluloko. So far, ang napatunayan lang nila dito is that, again, there was a COA report, there was an audit made, there were documents, there were findings na may mga kulang na submission ng mga documents ang Office of the Vice President. However, hindi ito nangangahulugan that that is already a criminal act or that is an impeachable offense or wala nang ibang administrative remedy. Maaari nilang tanungin ngayon yung mga proseso ng pag-audit na ginagawa kasi isa doon sa mga public officials na may mga unliquidated na mga cash advances is sitting as one of the prosecutors. And that is former DOJ Secretary Leila De Lima. Ngayon mabubuksan dito na kung paano yung proseso, kung does it mean that if you have findings, meron agad criminal liability? Because if it is so, dapat si Leila de Lima ay may kaso din. Bakit wala siyang kaso? It's because the truth of the matter is, ang COA findings doesn't necessarily translate to a criminal liability or in an impeachable offense. At the most, automatic yan, there will be administrative na pananagutan tungkol doon sa mga kulang na mga dokumento. Pero meron bang paraan para makorek ito? Yes, there is. May mga available remedies pa. Ang Office of the Vice President, pwede nga rin silang, they can go to court to judicially challenge yung propriety of the findings of the COA investigator. At marami pa po na nadadaan ng proseso. But definitely, the evidence of the prosecution as of today, wala pa silang nasasabi o napatutunayan na totoo nga na merong illegal o di kaya kriminal na pananagutan ang Vice President doon sa mga findings na isinagawa nila o inireport na nila. Because now the defense can open up other public officials other than former Senator Leila de Lima, who is also formerly the DOJ Secretary. So, after 11 days, after 275 million pesos of expenses, so far, the prosecution has gone nowhere. Hanggang ngayon, nandun pa lang sila sa preliminaries because wala pa sila doon sa mga evidence that will connect the Vice President doon sa mga katiwalian or impeachable offense. So, makakarating ba sila ron? Well, basically, after 11 days, they have consumed probably about 12% already of the time allotted for them to complete their presentation of evidence. Because supposedly, makukumpleto ito, ang proseso na to about 92 or 93 days. So, with 11 days already gone, that's about 11 to 12% already of the time allotted to them. Wala pa, so far. I think Article 4 was a dud. Palpak yung Article 4. Wala silang napatunayan doon sa Article 4. Ngayon, they're banking on Article 1. But dito sa Article 1, I think they would have to connect this doon sa iba pang articles because ang sasabihin nila dito ay nagkamal siya ng pera sa pamamagitan ng mga ninakaw dito sa confidential funds, and that's why they have to connect it doon sa mga bank deposits, which again will be very problematic kasi meron pang mga challenges on the constitutionality of the order of the impeachment court regarding yung subpoena, yung pagpapasubpoena dito sa mga records na ito na supposedly are confidential. Now, is the impeachment an exception doon sa mga confidentiality rule na pwedeng makover nito pati mga private individuals or even transactions that are beyond or outside of the coverage of the impeachable office, which is the Vice President. So, dapat yan, 2022 up to 2026 lang as of the moment. So, because prior to that, hindi naman impeachable. Should that include also yung DepEd? Because yung DepEd, Secretary position, is not an impeachable office. It's only the office of the Vice President. So, mahaba-haba pa itong mga proseso na ito. But, I think what is happening here is that because the presentation of the evidence ng prosecution ay napaka-boring, nawawala na ng interes ng taong bayan. The survey says only about 10% are interested of the people are interested in watching the impeachment proceedings. Nawawala na ng interes ng taong bayan dito because boring nga wala kang makuhang maganda, yan paulit-ulit at mukhang parang puro drama yung nangyayari. Now, if you are losing the audience, then you are losing the war. Sinabi ko nga sa inyo noon pa, this impeachment, hindi po ito tungkol sa legalidad or sa mga ebidensya or whatever. This is not a legal process. This is a political process. Ang pinag-uusapan po dito ay politika. Yung mga senador po na yan, bago pa nag-umpisa ang hearing, alam na nila ang boto nila. So, ang impeachment na ito ay para sa inyo at sa akin. We are supposed to be convinced by these proceedings that Sara Duterte should be impeached o kaya hindi natin siya dapat iboto sa 2028. And this is a propaganda war. Nung ko pa sinasabi, This is a propaganda war. Kanya nga lang, ang masama dito, ito ay propaganda ng administrasyon na tayo ang gumagastos. Taong bayan. Okay lang kami na magpropaganda kayo, pero sana gastusin nyo yung pera nyo. Huwag naman nyo sa amin, huwag na yung sa taong bayan. Maraming naghihirap ngayon, nagugutom, lubog sa baha, at mas magagamit yung pera doon sa mga importanteng bagay na yan. Kaysa sa ganitong sarswela ng mga proceedings na wala namang patutunguhan at wala po siyang kapararakan. So, if the people are not watching, the administration is losing the propaganda war kasi walang interesado sa mga pinagsasasabi nyo. This means that the agenda of the impeachment to discredit the Vice President or make her lose her popularity is not working kasi ang datos ang nagsasabi, instead na bumaba ang datos ng approval rating ng Vice Presidente, ang bumababa yung kay BBM. So, back to the drawing board. Something is wrong here. You should fire some of your political strategists. Yung kababalik nyo yan, going to the same well, yung inyong parehong mga estratehiya is not working in. You are just wasting the people's money and the people's time.
Meron po ba nagbabawal na gamitin ito in 11 days? Wala din po. Kaya hindi po namin sinama sa findings namin yung 11 days na disbursement. It's just a statement of fact po on the AOM.
Thank you for confirming that, Mr. Witness. Familiar po kayo bilang isang CPA sa accrual method of accounting?
Yes, sir.
Can you just, in simple terms, because I'm not even a CPA, just give us a glimpse kung ano ibig sabihin? Ano ba ang accrual method of accounting?
Kapag sinabing accrual method of accounting, yung expenses ay ni-record upon incurrence, not upon payment.
Opo. Okay. So, dito po ba, pwede po ba yung parang I'm just a simple-minded person? Parang buy now, pay later? Ganon?
Wala po yan sa joint circular, so I am not authorized to
It's okay.
answer that question.
I will leave it at that. Punta na lang po tayo sa liquidation. Sa liquidation po, under the joint circular, that's under 6.2.2, correct? Under 6.2.2, if I may just refer you to that provision, dapat po maliquidate magsumite ng liquidation report ang isang agency na may confidential or intelligence funds within 30 days after the close of a quarter. Tama po ba?
Tatlo po yung nakalagay dito, hindi lang po the 30 days after every quarter.
Sige po, please enumerate for us.
Under 6.2.2 of the joint circular, all cash advances for CF and IF shall be liquidated within 30 days after every quarter or from the approved target date of completion of the project or activity or after the cash advance have been fully utilized, whichever comes first in accordance with the procedures as stated po.
Okay, thank you po. Ngayon po, papakita ko po sa inyo yung liquidation report na isinumite ng OVP for their fourth quarter confidential funds 2022. Maybe this time we could just ask our assisting counsel, Your Honor, to hand the document.
Assisting counsel for the other side may also approach.
Maaari niyo po bang matukoy kung anong date po na-receive ng COA ICFAO itong liquidation report ng OVP?
Based on the transmittal letter po, January 17, 2023.
January
Maybe
17.
Your Honor, for our understanding, what exhibit number?
Sorry.
Counsel
Thank you for
referring.
reminding me, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
This is Exhibit D-1-4-OVP.
This is the prosecution's P-1-11-A. Ano? I'm sorry.
One?
I'm sorry, what is it?
Sorry, D-1-1. Sorry.
-1.
I was just corrected.
Counsel,
Your Honor,
proceed.
for the record, this is not a common exhibit, Your Honor.
Duly noted.
Now, base po sa date na nabasa nyo, compliant po ba na within the 30-day period ay nakapagsumite sila? Yung act lang po ng pag-submission, ng pag-submit rather, ng liquidation report.
Based on this document po, yes po.
Yes po. And kung mapapansin nyo po, doon po sa transmittal, meron pong isang checklist. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir.
And I will refer you now to item 6.2.2.3 of the joint circular. Ayon po sa 6.2.3 ng nasabing Joint Circular 2015-01, ang gagawin po ng receiving officer ng COA-ICFAO ay titingnan po yung checklist, tapos susuriin po yung mga dokumentong isinumite ng ahensya, yung mga attachments, kung pasok siya doon sa checklist of supporting documents na kinakailangan. Tama po ba?
Can you repeat your question po?
Ayon po sa 6.2.2.3, ang receiving officer ng COA-ICFAO ay titingnan yung checklist and then titingnan din, susuriin yung mga naka-attach na dokumento kung compliant siya dun sa checklist. Tama po ba?
Yes po, based on the joint circular.
Based on that same provision, kung yun po ay kompleto, tatanggapin po ng COA-ICFAO. Tama po ba?
Yes po.
At pag hindi po kompleto o meaning kulang po yung mga attached documents, yun po ay dapat ibalik ng COA-ICFAO sa ahensya at hindi mo natatanggapin. Tama po ba?
Yes po. Based on
And
this provision po.
Opo. And in this case, because of the receiving stamp, would you say na tinanggap po ng ICFAO ang submission ng OBP?
As stamp po nung ICFAO, yes po.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Witness. Now, basing on this document na natanggap ng COA-ICFAO on January 17, 2023, ang kanilang liquidation report, meaning the OVP for the fourth quarter 2022 confidential funds, it took more or less 8 months for COA to issue its official finding. Tama po ba?
Yes po.
I am showing you a copy of the AOMs that you issued and that were also presented yesterday.
May we know the exhibit number, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I will get to that. Pwede mo na yung mga next documents.
Are you showing the one for the OVP or the DepEd?
OVP, Your Honor.
OVP, that would be...
This is D-1-103-OVP, Your Honor, for the first AOM issued on September 14, 2023.
That's the counterpart of P-1-12-A.
And isunod ko na po yung pangalawang AOM na na-issue on October 3, 2023. This is D-1-104-OVP for the defense.
Which is P-1-12-B for the prosecution.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Witness, napansin ko na yung date is September 14, nung 2023, nung una niyong AOM. Tama po ba?
Yes po.
And that was actually just a few days after the budget hearing of COA held August 24, 2023, kung saan may mga legislators that, asked COA to look into the OVP confidential funds. Are you aware of that? Just if you're aware.
I am not aware of that.
That's okay. Now, I'll just move on to the AOMs themselves, no? Now, kahapon nasasabi niyo po na nagkakaproblema tayo sa may nakita kayong finding doon sa physical and financial plan. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir.
Ng OVP. At yan po ay nakasaad din sa inyong findings dyan.
Yes, sir.
Tama po ba?
Opo.
You referred to, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, item 4.2 of the joint circular.
Yes, sir.
Tama po?
Yes, sir.
Maaari niyo po bang, andyan pa po ba yung joint circular? Yes. Maaari niyo po bang basahin yung 4.2 ng joint circular para lang po sa kalaman natin lahat?
Under 4.2 of the joint circular, all allocations of CF and or IF shall be supported with physical and financial plan indicating the proposed amount allocated for each program, project, and activity where disbursements pertaining to the CE and IA shall be based.
Tama po. Thank you po, Mr. Witness. Dito po, sa kanilang physical and financial plan, the program stated is actually the Good Government Program. Tama po ba? Yung binabasa ko lang.
Based on the document, yes.
Based on the document. At ang expected outcome ay safe implementation of OVP initiatives and confidence building. Based on the document.
Based on the document, yes.
At ang physical target will be number of areas with surveillance and confidential activities conducted or monitored. Tama po ba?
Yes.
As well as the number of activities. Tama po ba? At ayon po dun sa binasa nyo, wala naman pong guidelines on how specific it would be. Correct?
Well, nakalagay po kasi dito, dapat i-indicate yung each program, activity, and project na pagbabasihan ng disbursement ng CF.
Apo. I won't argue with you. So basically, yung finding niyo po is based on your assessment as an auditor.
Or since it is a plan, dapat po naka-indicate talaga dito kung paano nila gagastusin yung kanilang confidential funds.
That's okay. Yes, I'll accept that answer. Now, nabanggit nyo rin po na hindi po nag-submit ng DEPs or document evidencing payment. Tama po?
Yes, sir.